Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we are going to be going over the basics of if statements in Python. So what are if statements? If statements are basically conditional statements in Python that have to be met to run a certain piece of code. Let's say if my age is equal to 20, then a certain piece of code will run. But if my age is not equal to 20, then that piece of code will not run. So how do you make an if statement? Let me show you. So to make an if statement, you start with the keyword if in lowercase letters, a set of parentheses, and the first condition, which usually is a variable condition, our condition variable, and next, if our condition variable is equal to 20, then we'll have a full colon after this, and this is the code that will run. The code, just like this. So how do we actually use this in a real sense? We'll set condition to be equal to 20. And as you can see in our if statement right here, if condition is equal to 20, and yes, you have to use two equal signs to represent equal to. If condition is equal to 20, then a full colon, and inside this indent right here, this is our actual code that will run. And in our code, I'm going to type in this code is ready, just like that. And when I run our code, we should see this code is ready in our terminal right here, and we've got it just like that. This code is ready. So I'm going to close this block of code, and I'm going to show you another way you can use it, but this time with strings or words. And I'm going to say John. So condition is equal to John. So if condition is equal to John, I'll type in John like this. Then in our terminal, we should see this code is ready. So here's our terminal right here, and we can see this code is ready. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to set the condition to Peter this time. But I will leave our if statement condition to be equal to Johnny. So what happens in our terminal is that nothing will show up in our terminal because our condition is not met. Our condition is equal to Peter. And in this if statement, it's supposed to be equal to John for this certain line of code to actually run. So what if we wanted to add two names for it to actually work? That's where else if statements come in. Else if statements like this. But when you're writing them in Python, you type in EL, which is short for else, and then IF, which is the if. So else if, then you set your condition to be equal to Peter, and after Peter, our condition will be welcome Peter, just like this. I'll type in welcome Peter, and this is our second condition. So our condition can either be John or Peter for one of these two lines of code to work and actually compile in the Python compiler. So I'm going to run this, and since it's equal to Peter, in our terminal we're expected to see welcome Peter, just like that. So what if both of these were not met? What do? We type in an else statement. So basically what else is it's the last piece of the else and the else if statements. This basically is used if both the if condition and the else if condition are not met. So the else condition does not have any parameters, instead is followed by a full colon and then an indent. So in this indent, we'll type in anything that you want to run if both of these conditions are not met. I'll type in conditions are not met, just like this. And when I run our code in our terminal, we should see welcome Peter because our condition is still Peter. But what if I set the name to be something else completely different, like Kayla? And when I run our code, we're expected to see conditions are not met in our terminal, just like this. And I will close the terminal. And these are the basics of how you can use else statements, else if, and else statements. So let me show you how you can use these for actual user input. I will type in my name is equal to input like this, and our prompt will be what is your name with a question mark right there. So in our if statement, it will be if my name is equal to John, then it will say welcome John, and I will print it out as welcome John, just like this. And I'll follow it with an else statement. I'm not going to add an else if statement, and else print wrong name, just like this. And when I run our code, it will ask me for my name in our prompt terminal right here. What is your name? I will type in John, just like this, and we'll see welcome John. And as you can see, I had a small spelling error right there, just like that. And let's test it with another name. Let's say I put a name like Kayla or Carol. I put in Carol right there, and we'll see wrong name in our terminal, and I will close that terminal up. So what if we wanted to make a login system that requires a username and a password? I will type in username is equal to input like this, and I will ask what is your username with a question mark, just like that. And password will be equal to input what is your password, your password with a question mark, just like that. So these are the two input fields we'll be using right here. And combination. So basically in this system, we are going to combine the username and the password into one variable together to confirm our output. So if that's not making sense, let me explain it to you right here. I'm going to set combination to be equal to username plus password. And because these input fields right here are both going to be strings, when we add the plus sign right here, these two will become one combined word. And in our if statement, we're going to set combination to be equal to, and let's say my username is John and my password is 123. So this is the combination of the username and the password. That's how we saved it in our variable named combination. So if this combination is equal to John123, then it will print out welcome, just like this. And in our else statement, it will print wrong username or password, just like this, username or password. And this is a basic project you can make after learning this yourself. So as you can see, we'll get prompted with our username, and I'll type in John. Our password will be 123, and we'll see welcome right there. So if we're to run our code again, I'm going to run it for the second time, and I'm going to type in Kayla, wrong username, but I'll type in the correct password, and you'll see wrong username or password because our condition was not correctly made. So that's a beginner project you can use after learning else, if statements and if statements. So right here, I'm going to add an else if statement. If combination is equal to Kayla 123, and I will add a full colon right there and print welcome user 2, just like that. And you can add as many else if statements as you want. If combination is equal to Carol 123, and we'll say print welcome user 3, just like that. And when I run our code, as you can see, we now have 3 different user accounts right here in our Python script. So I can type in Carol and the password will be 123, and we can see right there welcome user 3. So we have basically added 3 accounts to our Python script, and these are the basics of how to use if statements, else if statements, and else statements in Python. You can also use these in numerical values, like let's say you want to compare which one's greater than the other. So I'll say John age, which will be John's age, and he'll be 21, and Carl's age will be, let me set it equal to 24. And our if statement will be if John age is greater than or equal to Carl age, then we'll say print John is older. John is older, just like that. And we'll have an else if statement which says if John age is less than or equal to Carl age, then we'll have to print John is younger, just like that. And when we run our code, we will see either John being older or John being younger. And in this case, John is younger than Carl. And let's make John older. Let's make him 26. And now that he's older than Carl, in our terminal, we should see that John is older. And with these basic fundamentals, I challenge you to go make your own Python scripts using if statements, else if statements, and else statements. And if you made it this far into the video, make sure you hit like and subscribe and boost my channel up as I am just beginning, and see you in the next video.